Okay, so they're about to release the new Super Smash Brothers, and little something about Super Smash Brothers is, while it's not really my favorite game series of all time, or my favorite individual game of all time, any of them. While it's not really any of those, Super Smash Brothers Brawl actually was to this day, still my most anticipated video game of all time. I was so excited for Brawl that like no other game came close to how much I wanted Brawl. And the funny thing is, I ended up liking Melee more than I liked Brawl. But you know, yeah, Brawl I was super excited for. I was about in eighth grade when it came out, and it got delayed 3 times. That was really irritating. The only other games I really anticipated that much were Resident Evil 6 and this one. And, well, neither of those games really disappointed me, so I'm hoping that this one won't. But I think that today I'm going to talk about the characters I want the most in Super Smash Bros. 4 and the characters I don't want to see in Super Smash Bros. 4. So I have a top 15 list for both. So at number 15 on the characters I want to see the most in Smash 4, I put a Generation 2 Pokemon. And if I had to go with one, it would probably be Feraligatr, even though he wasn't my favorite of the three. Would have been Typhlosion. However, when I was coming up with this idea, it would have been an alternate to the idea of Greninja. And I don't like Greninja. He just seems silly to me. However, unfortunately, he's in the game now. They're not going to take him out, so it's not like anything I can do about it. So this is one that I really don't think is that realistic, but this would be my alternative to Greninja, say Feraligatr, or I guess Typhlosion would be awesome too, but Charizard's the better pick by far. But that's why this would be so low on the list, because it's not that realistic, but I would rather see Feraligatr than Greninja. That's all I'm saying. Number 14 of characters I would want to see put in there. This is another one that probably doesn't have much of a chance, and I acknowledge that. I would like to see a new F-Zero character. Now, I'm not too picky as to which, I would really prefer not Blood Falcon, because he'd just be too much like Captain Falcon. Black Shadow would probably be the best bet, since Samurai Goro is an assist trophy. But if, say, Goro wasn't an assist trophy, he'd probably be a pretty cool idea for a new playable character. And Black Shadow would be second if they could manage to give him his own playstyle and not just be like a Falcon or Ganondorf clone. I like Dr. Stewart too. I really do. I'm a big F-Zero fan. I was really hoping they make a new F-Zero soon, even though that's probably not going to happen. Really anybody he found on the F-Zero roster that he think would be good as a playable character. I'm not being picky. It wouldn't matter to me who they picked. It would just be cool to see anybody. They could pick someone obscure like Biorex for all I care. It would just be awesome to see a new F-Zero character. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. F-Zero isn't really represented very well in Smash Brothers, in my opinion. They kind of took Captain Falcon and made him into their own character. But it would just be really cool to see another character from F-Zero. They have some pretty cool people in there. Yeah, really, it wouldn't matter who they picked. It would just be cool to see someone. But Goro and Black Shadow would be the best choices. This is probably the last character on my list that's more of not a very high chance of getting in. But everybody seems to want Crystal for some reason, and she's not my favorite or least favorite Star Fox character. I do like Star Fox a lot. That's one of my favorite Nintendo series. So I do think that Wolf is a better choice than her, considering that he's more important to the series, because but and he is a villain, but at the same time, I guess Smash Brothers doesn't have many female characters either, and blah blah blah. You could use her staff. You've probably heard it from everyone else before, but I would be cool with her being in it. That would be a cool idea. Preferably, she'd use this outfit rather than the one where she doesn't wear any clothes and is all Princess Leia from Return of the Jedi style. mostly because I'm pretty sure that they're trying to go for less than a teen rating this time. Just the impressions I've gotten. But it would be cool to see Crystal. I'm not going to be too disappointed if she's not in. I'm not expecting her, but it would be cool to put her in it. If you're going to have if you're going to have three Star Fox representatives, or four, which I would love four Star Fox guys, but they're not going to do it. Four. Yeah, four. So, yeah, if you're going to add another Star Fox character, she's the best choice. I mean, Peppy probably deserves it more, but there's not really much you can do with Peppy. On number 12 of my most wanted characters in Smash Brothers, this is another popular choice, King K. Rool. He's hasn't been in many recent games. His last game was Mario Sluggers. Yeah, he'd be pretty cool. I don't really know what they do with him, but Raw. They went for the whole evil kings approach with Bowser, Dedede, and Ganondorf. So that would be another evil king they could add. King K. Rool is just really silly. He's kind of like Bowser, sort of. I really like King K. Rool. I think if they're gonna add another Donkey Kong rep, he would be the best idea. And he would just be a really cool villain. He's one of Nintendo's best villains, one of their most important. I don't understand why he's not in either of the new Donkey Kong Country games. I feel like I get it. You want to do something different with the returns, but with Tropical Freeze, you'd think that they want to bring him back. I don't know. I mean, I hear people say he's owned by Rare, but if that was true, then he wouldn't be in games made by Nintendo after Rare was bought out by Microsoft. So I think he's possible. I just think he's unlikely. Number 11, Mr. Game & Watch. Now, I don't think there's any reason Mr. Game & Watch should be taken out of Super Smash Bros. 4, considering he's been in the last two, and he has a pretty quirky character. He's pretty unique. He has his own unique moveset. But just in case he doesn't, I'm going to put him on the list. I mean, he hasn't been confirmed yet. I mean, he's probably going to be a secret character. That's probably one of the later ones you get to. So he's probably in the game, but just to make sure, I put Mr. Game & Watch on here. I like Mr. Game & Watch. I think he's a silly little character. He's cool, and I think that I like playing as him. I think he's cool, and I like the whole vintage feeling of him. I think that if the Ice Climbers are the NES representative of Super Smash Brothers, he's the pre-NES representative of Super Smash Brothers. He's Mr. Game & Watch, and he's not even the main character of his own series. So why not give him a spot in Smash Brothers again? Now, first off, let me say I'm not really a Fire Emblem fan. The new one looks cool, but I played the Game Boy Advance one. I was just a kid at the time, so maybe that's why. I probably would have appreciated it more if I played it now. And I thought it was cool. I thought the characters were cool. I just didn't really get that much into it. I liked Eliwood and Lendis, too. And I remember everyone thought that Eliwood was Roy, but he was his father. So, now, I did say this was a top 15, but I think that I'm going to add two characters in this little section, and I think they should bring back Ike. I know that a long time ago, I would have said that Ike would be someone that was guaranteed to not come back. But after all the curveballs that Sakurai has thrown, it wouldn't surprise me that much if he came back. I mean, I'm still not expecting him, but I would like him to come back. I'm not going to be heartbroken if he doesn't, but he was cool. He was unique. He spoke English. It would be cool to have him back, and I hear that he's pretty important to Fire Emblem overall. But he wasn't the main reason I put this in the video. I think that if they're going to add a Fire Emblem rep, they should add a villain or a female or someone who isn't a generic blue-haired protagonist with a sword. Or even if they do have a sword, just something about them to make them different than Marth and Ike. Just something. I mean, Roy, preferably a female. Lucina looked pretty cool. Len, of course, she's an assist trophy. She's not going to be whatever. But just something to make them stand out, something to make them special, something to warrant them a spot to come back in the next one. I just want to see something different, If you have Marth, the blue-haired dude with the sword, and Ike would be a blue-haired dude with a sword, but different. I mean, it would be cool to bring in someone different, and someone completely different. Like, and if you don't bring back Ike, still bring in something completely different. It would be nice to spice things up, especially if they're going to be someone that won't be in Smash 5. Well, this may come as a shock to some people, but I'm a huge Mario fan. Yeah. So, what I would love to see is, I know that there's 5 already, but I would love to see a 6th Mario rep. And I'm okay with there being 6 reps in other series too. Like Pokemon would be an ideal one to have 6. But Mario, it just seems kind of bland to me. And we've got, the 2 plumbers, Bowser, and then 2 princesses. It just, I mean, I'm not dissing Rosalina. I would have taken out Peach if you're going to put her in, though. A lot of people would probably hate that. But, Toad might be an okay choice. Bowser Jr. would be a good choice. I came up with the idea for a Hammer Bro. Someone on YouTube came up with the idea of a Goomba. That was a really cool idea. I like that one a lot. Just really anybody. Dry Bones, Koopa Troopa, just a side character. That'd be pretty awesome. Waluigi could work, but he's an assist trophy. But I would just really like to see another Mario representative, like one from Mario, not Yoshi or Wario or Donkey Kong, but from Mario himself, because, before there was even talks of the new Smash Brothers, I always assumed that Rob would be a character that's going to just not be in Smash 4. I never really know why, but I just always assumed Rob would be like a one-timer and they wouldn't bring him back. I don't know why I assumed that, but I always did. And I still kind of think he's probably not going to be in the next one, but I would really like to see him. I really like Rob. He's cute. He's a cute little robot. He's an important part of him. Well, maybe not important, but he's a part of Nintendo's history. I really liked Rob. I thought he was a cool addition. I liked playing as him. I mean, he's like Game & Watch. I put him with Game & Watch. They're 2 characters that aren't that important, but they're pretty cool, and they're nice to have in Smash Brothers. Him along with, Ike, again, is another one I always just assumed would just leave, like the Roy thing. But, who knows? I mean, Lucario came back. I didn't see that coming. So, I mean, Rob could come back. I'll be sad if he's not in it, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. He doesn't come back, but still, I mean, it would be really nice for him to come back. He was just a very creative addition to Brawl, and I was glad he was there. I would like to see him come back. I came up with the idea of a Generation 2 Pokemon, probably Feraligatr, as an alternative to Greninja. However, I think that a Generation 3 Pokemon could still exist alongside Greninja. And again, while Blaziken is my favorite of the 3, mostly because I love Torchic, I think that Sceptile would probably be the best course of action to have a fire, a grass, and a water. And I think Sceptile, well, maybe Blaziken, but Sceptile would work really good. He would be a really, really good choice. I would love to see Sceptile in it. I mean, I would love to see Blaziken too, but again, there's already a fire starter, so, it doesn't hurt my feelings that he's not a very good choice. But Sceptile would be a really good choice, I think. And I think he could still exist. However, that would put Pokemon at the 5 limit rep. And, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's a whole fuss about the whole, they can have 5, every franchise can have 5 instead of 4 characters now. But, I mean, they've been doing that since Melee with Mario, Dr. Mario. There were 6 Pokemon in Brawl, so I don't see why there can't be 6 in this one. So, Sceptile and Jigglypuff could be the last reps. I think that would be cool because, they are remaking Ruby and Sapphire, and I think this would be a great way to promote it. So I think he's a very good possibility, and I'd love to see that. And there was another YouTube user who posted this video long before mine who said the same thing, and I agree with him.